let's talk about a couple of different things with respect to placing orders. We're going to talk about seat positions with table service. We're going to talk about the menu groups and modifiers and items and all those kinds of things. And let's put those things into practice, and then we'll split a couple checks and see what that looks like, okay? So let's put in an order. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to choose a table. And we're going to pick a seat position. We got an alphabetized seat there. Position 2 is going to have some drinks. Golden margarita. And let's just have position 3. Get a root beer. Position 4. Let's get them a sun-kissed. Okay, now we've talked about this as well, but you can also choose the seat positions here manually to actually go in rotating order. So that your servers, your food runners don't auction off food, they actually give it to the correct position. So let's ring in a few more things here. Let's go to an appetizer. And that was for seat position 4. And then seat position 1 is also going to get an appetizer, a fried zucchini. Okay. For this style, we're going to go ahead and send this to the kitchen. They haven't actually made their entree orders yet, so it's going to send to the kitchen, and a copy of the receipt is going to print for you, for the server. Now, let's recall this order, and let's modify it and put put the entrees in now. So we're going to go to the recall. We're going to recall the order that we were just doing, just to make sure it's the right one here. Let's edit the order, and then let's add some entrees. Seat position 1 is going to get roasted chicken with crispy chips and a side salad. Seat position 2 is going to get some pasta. Seat position 3 is going to get a chicken filet sandwich on white bread with French fries. And seat position 4, let's go here, is just going to get a bowl of clam chowder. So we're good to go. Now we can send that to the kitchen. Now let's split the check. They're done eating. Let's split the checks and see what happens. We're going to settle the order. I'm going to go ahead and recall that order. Now let's click the split check. And this is actually a great feature within the software. It's one of my favorites. What we're going to do is we're actually going to split this onto 3 different checks. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can do it by seat number, and hopefully you can see this. You can do it by seat number and toggle it to menu item. So let's do it by seat number. Seat number 1 is going to highlight all of them. I'm just going to drag that right over here by just highlight and touch. We're going to highlight seat position 3, and their ticket's going to be there. So now you can see that seat position 3, seat position 1, and then 2 and 4 are going to be paying together. And we can actually do that way. Now let's say that this gentleman wants to be generous and buy everyone's drinks. So now he has all the drinks, and each of these people have all of their regular stuff. So you can see how that can toggle very quickly. So let's go ahead and finish that. It's going to print out all of the checks. And then we can actually close out the first order, which was position 2 and 4. So it pops the drawer. There are 2 more checks to settle as a result of your order splits, and you can see that the receipt printer's going. All right, so now this is that same table 14, and we have 2 separate checks there. This is going to be that position 3. They're going to pay with cash. Then let's go with that last position, and let's close them out. And they're good to go as well. Okay, we just saw how to split a check from the tender screen. Now let's see how to actually split a check and then combine the check back together from the menu screen. Let's see right here. Let's recall that existing order. Pull it up. Let's edit the order. Now this is that menu screen. Now a second ago, like I said, we split checks from the tender screen. Let's actually split the checks from here. We're going to do 4 separate checks this time. And we'll do it by seat position. And we're all good to go. We're splitting the checks. Now this can be a bit confusing here, okay? You see, I have 4 checks, and you see only 3 right here. This is the 4th check right here. It's actually the first check. but it's right here, and it is a bit confusing, but me saying that's going to give you a lot of explanation. So let's go ahead and print none, and you see that we're back to this screen. So let's just be done with that for a second. It's going to split it. It's going to print a check, and let's actually go through and recall one of those orders, and let's bring a couple of them together. That, you know, let's say a guy wants to be nice to a girl that he's a little sweet on, and wants to buy her meal. So we're going to pick up his check. We're going to edit the order. Now let's go ahead and combine a check, and this is that girl's order that he's a little sweet on, and we're going to accept that. These other two people are going to be good to go. So it's ready. The check is going to print. Now let's recall the order. You can see there's only 3 available now. And now we can start tendering orders, settling orders. This is that guy's order. He's good to go. And we're ready. We'll close the other 2 checks and be done. The next feature I'd like to discuss with you is firing tickets. You know, sometimes people will order an entire meal all at once, or sometimes there's coursing as well. But let's say somebody says, hey, ready to order, and they order everything at once, and you want to, you know, the server wants to actually keep the pace of the meal at an appropriate position instead of sending everything off to the kitchen. This is going to be a very useful tool. So let's look and see what it looks like. All right, dine in. We are going to choose a table. And let's pick a position 1. And they're going to get a drink. Let's go ahead and modify that drink to be a rocks. And then position 2. It's going to have a course cutter. And they are also going to have an appetizer of onion rings. Position 1 is also going to have some nachos. And actually, let's do this. Let's go with a salad, buttermilk ranch. And position 2 is also going to have a garden salad with French dressing. And position 1 is going to have barbecue ribs with this, another crispy chips. And we're good to go there. And then position 2 oh wow, struggling here, ladies and gentlemen. Position 2 is going to have roasted chicken. Now we're done. So that's been sent to the kitchen. Now we actually have an invoice populated. There's a ticket starting here, and we have drinks, we have appetizers, we have entrees, and we have dessert. They've ordered all at once. And we actually want to hold the specific items such as dessert and entrees until the appetizers hit the table. So let's go ahead and do that. We have everything ready to go. So let's place some items on hold. What we're going to do is we're actually going to put the entrees and the desserts on hold. Now here's the great part about it. We can hold until notified. We can actually just say, hey, we're going to say 10 minutes. We can add a future date hold time for a date further in the future. Most people choose the hold until notified, and it's a little bit more of a manual process. You can forget, but at least you have more control of it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and send those to the kitchen. Everything's been sent. And now what we're going to do is we're going to recall that order. And you can see it's right here. And we can actually fire the table. Or what we can actually do is go back to our hold screen since we do have desserts here. And let's go ahead and remove those hold times right there. And let's go ahead and send those to the kitchen. Now the entrees have been sent. Same process for sending the desserts. And you can see from there that everything's good to go.